Hello and welcome back. In this video, I'll try a new method that was suggested or indirectly suggested by someone in the comment yesterday. I can't really pronounce his name, but I'll leave a link in the description. He doesn't really have any videos yet, but subscribe to him. He may become the most subscribed channel without any videos, I don't know. But I got my first real feedback and it felt really good. Thereby, I'm trying this new method. So, the notion of a differentiable manifold is necessary for extending the methods of differential calculus to spaces more general than Rn. The first example of a manifold, accessible to our experience, is a regular surface in R3. Recall that a subset S of R3 is a regular surface if for every point P an element of S, there exists a neighborhood V of P in R3 and a mapping of U a subset of R2 into the intersection of V and S of an open set U a subset of R2 onto the intersection of V and S, such that X is a differentiable homomorphism and differential dxq from R2 to R3 is injective for all q an element of U. The mapping X is called a parameterization of S at P. The most important consequence of the definition of regular surfaces is the fact that the transition from one parameterization to another is a diffeomorphism. More precisely, if X alpha, a mapping from U alpha to S, and X beta, a mapping from U beta to S, are two parameterizations such that X alpha of U alpha intersected with X beta of U beta is equal to W is not equal to the empty set, then the mappings, the inverse of X beta in composition with X alpha, is the mapping from the inverse X alpha of W into R2, and the inverse of X alpha in composition with X beta is the mapping from the inverse of X beta of W into R2, or differentiable. Thus, a regular surface is intuitively a union of open sets of R2, organized in such a way that when two such open sets intersect, the change from one to the other can be made in a differentiable manner. As a consequence, it makes sense to speak of differentiable functions on a regular surface, and, in that situation, the major defect of the definition of regular surfaces is its dependence on R3. Indeed, the natural idea of a surface is a set which, in two-dimensional and to which the differential calculus of R2 can be applied. The unnecessary presence of R3 is a simple imposition of our physical nature. It was nearly a century before such an idea attained the definite form that we present here. One of the reasons for this delay is that the fundamental rule of change of parameters was not well understood, even for surfaces in R3. Since there is no advantage to restricting ourselves to two dimensions, the definition will be given for an arbitrary dimension n. Differentiable always signifies of class C infinity. So let's move on to the next section, namely differentiable manifolds, tangent space. So the definition: a differentiable manifold of dimension n is a set M and a family of injective mappings X alpha from U alpha a subset of Rn into M of open sets U alpha of Rn into M, such that 1. The union alpha of X alpha of U alpha is equal to M. 2. For any pair alpha and beta with X alpha of U alpha intersected with X beta of U beta is equal to W is not equal to the empty set. The sets X inverse alpha of W and x beta inverse of W are open sets in Rn. And the mappings x beta inverse in composition with x alpha are differentiable. And 3. The family of U alpha and X alpha is maximal relative to the conditions 1 and 2. The pair U alpha X alpha with mapping X alpha with P an element of X alpha of U alpha is called a parameterization or system of coordinates of M at P. X alpha of U alpha is then called a coordinate neighborhood at P. A family of U alpha X alpha satisfying condition 1 and 2 is called a differentiable structure on M. Our condition 3 is included for purely technical reasons. Indeed, given a differentiable structure on M, we can easily complete it to a maximal one by taking the union of all the parameterization that, together with any of the parameterization of the given structure, satisfy condition 2. Therefore, with a certain abuse of language, we can say that a differentiable manifold is a set provided with a differentiable structure. In general, the extension to the maximal structure will be done without further comment. Just to illustrate this, I'm going to draw 3 pictures, one of which represents the set M, with the set W, which is the intersection of X alpha of U alpha and X beta of U beta, whereas the others represent the injective mappings X alpha and X beta, and as well as their inverses, which are dependent of the set W. In these pictures, we can really see the structure of the characteristics of these diffeomorphisms, which I think is quite cool. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.